Games. Whoop, let's go. Hursty Games, and this is how we do. Now it's time we teach.
Hey there guys, welcome back to Hursty Games and welcome to the QPR Career Mode, technically Season 2 of the QPR Career Mode. I won't give any spoilers in case anyone hasn't seen it. If you want to go back and check out the first season, some of them are video, well most of them are videos, some of them are streams, so some of them are slightly longer, but you do have all of that to catch up on with Season 1, but spoilers coming now. We did manage to get ourselves promoted back into the Premier League in the first season of Asking with QPR. So we're in the second league now. Now this video is going to be a little bit not quite as cut to, not quite as edited and stuff. I just want to run through a couple of things, talk about where this season is going to go. I'm not going to play any games today. I'm going to get some training done, going to get our pre-season probably most of the way done, and look at some potential signings and maybe start making a few signings too. But I'm not going to spend all our money because I do want you guys to have an input on some of the players that we sign in as well. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to have a little look at the squad. So obviously we had a lot of players going back from their loans and a lot of players coming back from the loans that they were on. So players going in and out. But we're going to start off by getting our first team sorted. So I'll get the first team ready and I'll talk you guys through it. Okay, so this here is our starting lineup. So pretty much what you guys saw a minute ago, but I brought in Dominic Ball for Cameron because Dom Ball is 24 years old, whereas Cameron is in his 30s. And so Dom Ball has a lot more potential and also isn't going to go down a rating. Cameron was 70 at the end of last season and has gone down to 69 in that time. So this team is not good enough to stay in the Prem. It's as simple as that. In case you didn't know as well, we are upping the difficulty to Legendary because we're back into, or we're now into the Prem. And if that's maybe even still too easy, then we'll up it to Ultimate, especially for the bigger games that we shouldn't be winning. So when we play against, you know, like the Manchester clubs, you know, Liverpool, Arsenal, these kind of guys, like the top sort of 6 or so teams, we'll put it onto Ultimate if we feel like it's needed. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go onto our club, our squad hub, and I'm going to show you guys all the players with transfer or loan listing. Okay, so working our way down in all of the positions. So Barnes, we are going to send on, well, he's loan listed, but I'd like him to go on loan. Same with Dieng, I'd like him to go on loan. And Collins is a youngster that we've got, like a prospect. I'm going to add him to the loan list, but I'm probably going to train him up a bit just to have as a backup and maybe a replacement on the bench for Lumley because Lumley's probably going to end up going. Wallace, we are going to transfer list because he is now 32. Get him on his way out. Hammerleinen is loan listed, so we'll keep him loan listed as well. I am going to loan list Masterson, and I'm also going to loan list Rowan, and I'm also loan listing Phillips. I'm going to send all of these guys out because I think they need, the best chance then really is to get game time elsewhere. Hall, I would transfer list if I didn't feel like we need him on the bench as an option, so I'm keeping him there. Osman Kakai, I'm also going to loan list. Cameron, I'm going to transfer list purely because of his age. A lot of these youngsters, I'm going to loan list. If we can get any of the youngsters out on loan, that'd be amazing. Shadipo, I've got him loan listed, but I might take him off there. Duncan is loan listed. Owens is going to be loan listed. Price is loan listed. Kelly is going to be loan listed as well. A lot of these youngsters are players that I just, you know, have been training up through the youth system just to make sure I'm completing objectives in the background, that kind of stuff. I'm also going to loan list Ote, but I'm going to keep Paul Smith here. He might be our bench striker with some training. So now all those guys are listed, you guys might be interested to see how many players we have left on a 1-year contract. So I'm going to sort all of these guys out very quickly and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so most of the wages are now sorted. The only person I'm not going to re-sign that was only on a year is Wallace, again, just because I'm going to try and get him out of the club. Owens and Kakai, I apparently didn't offer enough money, so they're a bit miffed at me. So I'm going to have to re-go at those guys afterwards. But the money increase on some of these wages are ridiculous. A player like Tony Leisner is now on 20 grand a week. Eze's on a lot of money. Eze is, I think, our biggest earner now at the club. Oh no, he's sorry, Leisner's on more. 15 for Eze, 15 for Grant Hall, 11 for Lumley. These are the lowest they would accept. So I did my best, but a lot of money being spent on wages now. But looking at the squad we've got, looking at the players that we have as well, I've decided we need to replace some of the defence. We definitely need a new CDM, and we 100% need a new striker. Now, you could argue that we need a new goalkeeper, but that is what I'm going to do with my youth system. I forgot the whole phrase there. My youth system. We're going to find a goalkeeper. So every 3 months, I'm going to resend out somebody to find me an English goalkeeper, and hopefully they find someone good. But now it's time to have a little look at some money that we have to buy some players. So our transfer budget is £22 million with £77,000 in wages currently. One thing we need to bear in mind is we want to apparently try and make £70 million profit by the end of the season. And the only other stuff are about, youth players, avoiding relegation, which will be amazing if we can. Of course, we're in Europa League as well, which I completely forgot because we won the FA Cup, didn't we? I didn't think about that. So not only do we have to find a team that's good enough for staying up in the Prem, we have to find a team that's good enough to actually get somewhere in the Europa League. God. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a little look and see which teams got relegated from the Prem and see if there's any players that I can look at picking up. So first we've got Aston Villa that got relegated. Then we have... who else? Norwich got relegated. And Sheffield United. Okay, so we can have a little look at these teams and see if there's any players that jump out at us that we can try and sign. Okay, so I've added a few players from each of the relegated teams. A lot of players from Sheffield United because they've got a lot of great players there. But I've looked at Hogan, who we looked at, I think, last season as an option to maybe bring in when we were looking at Gassama. 28 years old, relatively cheap we can pick him up for, and would be a decent striker, but again, it's not really an upgrade in that sense. And I've looked at Target, because if we looked at bringing in Target, we could move Manning into the midfield. And honestly, I think Manning would be a great addition there. Has potential, already 71 rated, so that would be a nice little addition. Then we look at... who's going to be the next team? Norwich. Okay, so we looked at Cantwell. I can't scout him just yet because I've got so many people being scouted right now. But Cantwell, but although Cam and whatever's a position we're kind of covered for. Byram as an option for a right back. Godfrey would be a good young centre back to bring in as well. And like I said, we also looked at Sheffield United, so let me get there. And then from Sheffield United, we're looking at McBurney for a great striker option. Same with Mousset and Robinson, three very good young and very good potential strikers to look to bring it in. I think they're all going to be quite a bit of value though, so that one is going to be a maybe. Then we've got McKennie, who's a fantastic option. Could play centre mid, centre back and cam. Would be a very versatile option for us, and I know goes up a lot in career modes. And then I'm looking at O'Connell, who has got £12 million release clause. Depending on his rating, it could actually be that we trigger that. He would be a phenomenal player to bring in, and I actually think overlooked in real life, potentially for the England team. But all of those players are going to take a little while to be scouted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start simulating through the days, get to the pre-season. I'll let you know if there's any ingoings, outgoings, anything like that. And I'll obviously keep you updated with how the games go. Okay, so I did just get an email from the board saying, I'm just going to be careful about not getting myself into trouble with the deals that I've done in regards to the wages, because Tony Leisner was on a big old contract and they're not very happy with how much I've offered him. Now, I've done some simulated career modes in the past where just one email like that has led to me getting sacked over that situation. So if that happens, I'm not going to be happy. But we are into our first game of pre-season. As I said, I'm not playing the games in pre-season. I'm only going to sim those. Obviously, we'll play the games as and when we get to the proper competitions. But for now, it's us against Rosenborg as our first game. I'm just going to play our first team, honestly. I think that's the way to go forward. See how the squad squares up against bigger teams. And it's a 2-1 loss. Not the best start. Game number 2, and for those of you who simulate career modes yourselves, you'll know the away game is nearly always a loss. We're against Rapid. And as I said just then, we're away. And we win 3-0. What do I know? Literally nothing, apparently. Big ups. Archie Kelly, one of our youngsters, has gone out on loan for the season to Oxford United, who have just got promoted into the Championship. I don't know whether he's going to play much. Regardless, it should be good experience. Interesting signing I've just seen on the right there. Adel Tarabt, QPR hero and legend, has signed for Crystal Palace. So A, I couldn't sign him if I wanted to. And B, we're going to have to play against him. Third game, we are against the final team in the group stage. These guys haven't got a point yet. We just about scraped a 2-1 win, and now Leisner, Mr. Big Old Daddy Warbucks himself, is injured. So Tony has done his hip flexor, and he's going to be out for 3 weeks. And we also gained an extra £720,000 for getting out of the group in our pre-season. One thing I've only just thought about as well is I forgot about our free agent that we signed right at the end of last season, Zimmerman. I'm not going to lie, mate, I forgot you existed. So I'm going to throw him on the bench, sorry Grant Hall, and then I'm actually going to start him over Kane for the rest of the little pre-season. Semi-finals against Middlesbrough, Zimmerman and Hall coming in. Hall obviously in for the injured Leisner. Zimmerman playing his first game because I forgot he existed. Again, hopefully we can get a win here. It's 2-2, but we do go through on pens. Gassama gets a goal and Hall makes the most of the appearance he's got. and that win bags us another £900,000 into the transfer kitty. Okay, now we have our final, and it is against Bielefeld, so I'm going to say that is probably wrong. But again, same lineup, but this time Deng's been brought in instead of Hall, even though I assumed Hall would have been in form. Who knows? But the assistant manager knows best, or does he? We lose 2-0. Deng and Kelly both injured. So Deng has broken his toe and is out for 6 weeks, and Kelly has done his hip flexor, however it's said, and joins Tony Leisner on the 3-week injury list. You can also see here that we've had Isaac Watson accepted on a 1-year loan to CD Tondela, don't know how it's said, and Lee Wallace has left the club for £600,000, joining LA Galaxy. So we can see now that our qualifying round is against Bohemians from the Airtricity League. Now, I don't plan on getting that far in the season. I plan on getting to the end of July. Hopefully in the next couple of days we're going to see a lot of the reports back from the players I've scouted from the teams that got relegated from the Prem last season, and I can end on the 1st of the next month so that we can actually look at our scouting for a goalkeeper. And I've started to think I might need to offload Tony Leisner. I think my manager rating has gone down 17 in about 2.5 weeks. I think I should offload him, otherwise I actually might get sacked. Oliver Collins has gone on a season loan to GIF Sundsvall. I think that's in Sweden. I could be wrong. He's a young goalkeeper, currently 52 rated. I don't think he's going to play much, but hopefully his training continues out there and goes up in rating. And you can see a whole bunch of scout reports. It's time for me to get stuck in. Okay, so bearing in mind what I was just talking about with Tony Leisner and the fact my manager point is going absolutely down the drain because of my wage issue with Tony Leisner, I'm going to probably try and get Jack O'Connell in, and I'm going to try and offer Tony in the swap. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but honestly, I think I need to shift Tony Leisner, which sucks to say. Okay, so they will take Leisner. They do want 7 million on top of that, which is fine with me, honestly. Like 7 million for Jack O'Connell is fantastic. So that's a real good purchase. He's currently worth 7 million, and I think his the value they estimated I'd have to offer was between like 9 and 10 or something like that. So I'll happily take 7 million plus Tony Leisner. I am gutted to lose Tony though. That's going to be a big miss for me. He wanted 27 grand a week, which is kind of understandable, but I'm hoping that I can offer just under 20 grand because I feel like 20 grand is that magic number that the board got annoyed at me at. So if I can offer 19 and like offer him a big old signing on bonus, that kind of thing, he did accept it. So hopefully we've lowered the wages from what Tony was on. Hopefully the board aren't quite as mad. But welcome to the club, Jack O'Connell, a fantastic signing in my opinion, and he changes the red and white stripes for the blue and white hoops of QPR. My problem now is that there are 3 other players I'm considering signing. That is Ollie McBurney or getting Lise Mousset. Obviously Mousset is a lower rating, but it's a little bit, well actually he's the same age. I thought he was a little bit younger, but he's on less wages. I think that was the thing that stood out to me. He's on less wages, so I could go for either one of those two. And the other player I'm looking at, honestly, is McKennie. So that's 3 Sheffield United players, and I know that people will be mad at me in the chat if I just signed 3 players from the same club. I don't think you guys would like that, and that's really tough because they're perfect signings. The only other striker I'm considering at the moment is maybe Lassina Traore, or we go with Babacar Gueye. I think Lassina Traore will probably have higher potential. It'd be interesting if we can get him in relatively cheap. I reckon we can pick him up for around that 2 million value that he's got, and the wages will be nice and low as well. But I'm not going to sign anyone else. I genuinely want your guys' opinion here. I think McBurney and McKennie are like the perfect 2 signings. A great CDM to bring in and a fantastic striker to bring in. However, that means we signed 3 players from Sheffield United. What are your guys' thoughts on that? But I'm not going to make any more signings today. What I am going to do is I'm going to get to the first and we'll have a look at the goalkeepers that we've scouted for this month. Okay, so having a little look, Brandon Moore could be decent. He's 17 already as well, so has a good starting age. Ooh, Tyler Griffiths, you could be my guy right now. Starting off at £625,000 in value, potential rating between 53 and 73, and a potential overall between 76 and 94. So, let's have a look at what he starts at. Big signing. Okay, so Tyler Griffiths is starting off at a 63 rating. We're going to train this guy up, get him to 70 ASAP, and get him on that bench. And just in case anyone's wondering, this is currently what I'm doing with the training. Getting Griffiths up in rating. I did have the other youth goalkeeper we had until he went out on loan. Getting Smith up, hopefully to around that 70 mark, and maybe he can be a good backup striker / attacking player to come on off the bench for us. And then Gilmore, I want to get him up to 72 because I don't know who's going to last longer in our team, Gilmore or Chair, who's got the most potential. But that, guys, is where I'm going to draw the line for this episode. Hopefully you guys understand why I've stopped where I've stopped, and hopefully you guys agree with the signing of Jack O'Connell. Very, very happy for me personally to bring him in. I think he's going to be such a good player that we've signed up. Like, honestly, I think he's going to do phenomenally well for us. It's a big, big boost. I am genuinely gutted, though, to lose Tony Leisner. But that is where I'm going to end the video today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Please comment down below to let me know your thoughts on the players I'm thinking of signing. As I said to you, McBurney for me and McKenna, or McKenna, is it McKenny? I forget. Those two guys would be the ideal signings for me personally. However, if you think signing 3 players from one club is a bit overkill, I fully understand that, and I want you to let me know down below. And of course, if you don't think those are the right players, or you think that reasoning isn't correct, then please give me some decent suggestions. Players of a similar quality would be ideal. We're looking at young-ish players around the low gold, so we're looking around 75 to 77, just to keep the price down a little bit as well, and hopefully not on too many wages. I want to try and keep the wage bill below £20,000 per player, because that's what got the board annoyed at me in the first place. Of course, leave a like on the video if you're enjoying the series and if you enjoyed the episode, and don't forget, if you're new around here, to hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. We're on our way to 4,000 subs. It'd be amazing if we can get there soon. And make sure you turn on notifications to be told anytime that we upload a video, or indeed go live with a live stream. But for now, guys, I want to say a massive thank you for watching. I've been Tom, you guys have been awesome, and I hope to see you soon. Look after yourselves.
Let's go. Hursty games, and this how we do. Now it's time we team up. Check them online, you might catch them playing FIFA. Hey, yeah, you know we keep it live. Make sure to give a like and subscribe. Gaming channel, what's the best one? Keep it hella dope, hella fresh, huh? Yeah, Hursty games, tune in. Even told my grandmama, sister, and my best friend. You might want to check them if you want to be entertained. You already know the name. Check us out, Hursty games. Hey, whoop. Make sure to give a like and subscribe.